And so, meeting of the Fall River Planning Board, and it's October 19th, and it's 5:30 PM. We're going to do a roll call. And the roll call, Mario Luciano,
He's here.
Elizabeth Andrade,
Present.
Gloria Pacheco,
Present.
John Ferrera,
Present.
and I'm Cynthia Savigny. We also have Bill Kenny with us. And we have Patty Agia as our recording clerk. And we have Michael Ferrera from WFRG-TV. And now pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made whether perceived or unperceived by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. And we have on our agenda tonight, item 01. Item 01 is a Form C definitive subdivision file number 20-211 of the location Highland Farms 2, Highland Avenue, Hayfield Lane, and Courtney Street. Assessors map U4 Lot 1 and U5-1. This has been tabled from the September 21st, 2020 meeting, and I believe we are again tabling this matter.
Madam Chairperson, that is the request on behalf of the petitioners that this be tabled to our next meeting. They're still trying to work out some of the details, particularly with respect to the status of Courtney Street. Also, we're awaiting an opinion from the law department on that issue. So they're not quite ready to proceed. I have a feeling that November is going to be their lucky month. But
That would be nice. All right, so it is now
don't want to
tabled
predict, but
to the November 9th meeting.
we need a vote on that.
And a vote on this?
I make a motion that we table this to the November 9th meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Item number 1 is a repetitive petition. Owner applicant is Broadway Properties LLC, location of 1172 to 1174 Bedford Street, assesses map L-9-1.
Okay, I'm gonna just recuse myself.
Yes? And then we'll make a note.
So I think we have Mr. Joe Pacheco to speak on behalf of this.
Yes, Mr. Pacheco, would you like to sit forward? Or you can sit right there with all the pandemic, it's crazy.
We want to put him here so that, well, the camera would only see the back of his head, but he needs the mic, I guess.
Yeah, because the microphone's right
Yeah,
there.
I
yeah,
see.
that's better, they have the mic, yeah.
All right.
My name is Joe Pacheco, owner of Broadway Properties, located at 411 Columbus Street, Fall River. On June 30th of 2020, I had a public hearing before the Zoning of Appeals regarding a plan to build a 3,000 square foot retail building at 1172 Bedford Street, which is corner of Bedford and Oak Grove. And this is a location that's been vacant for, I don't know how long, for a long time. And I'm trying to develop this location. The zoning district is in this area is neighborhood shopping. This district allows this type of building that I plan to build, and also I met minimum lot size. But in order to create more parking space, I asked the board to waive rear and one side setback that's required for that a district zoning. Obviously, this request was denied by the board. Later on, upon conversation with the planning board and also the building department, I was advised to move the building back from the Bedford Street. I don't know if you have a plan of the existing plan that we have and the old plan, but if you can see the new plan now, you see the building is right to the back. The original plan was very like 4 or 5 feet away from Bedford Street. So upon their advice, we move the building right back with there's a car wash back there, and that's what we did. after this change is made, we feel that we have made substantial change to the original plan to ask this board to allow us to go back to the zoning of appeals for a new public hearing. And that's our request, and thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free.
Just for the board's information, I have a copy of the plan that was originally submitted with the zoning board of appeals, and I don't know whether you have copies of that, but I can pass it along if you want to take a look. As Mr. Pacheco indicates, he's made some significant changes here. The original plan had the building fronting, we're very close to Bedford Street.
Right.
And I don't know if maybe you can see from here, but I can pass this along to you.
Is that the old plan?
To take, this is the old plan, yeah.
Okay.
It was very close to Bedford Street. And I can pass it
I
along.
watched the meeting,
All right, so you're
so I
aware.
know exactly what's going on.
And the new plan, which you do have,
Yes.
shows it moved significantly back from Bedford Street, which is a specific and material change. And that eliminated one of the problems that the zoning board of appeals had. If you'll see, sort of, let's see, east, I guess, of his proposed building, at the corner there, is that the pizza place?
Yes,
It's a
yes,
pizza
it's
place,
east
yeah.
side, yes.
And he was very close to that on his original plan, which the zoning board was not too happy about. So the new plan moves it deeper into the lot, gets rid of that issue, and now he would be complying with the setbacks on Bedford Street,
Yes,
which
yes,
before was not the case.
that is correct.
So these, I think, my view on it would be that these are specific and material changes that would justify permission to go back to the zoning board of appeals now, rather than waiting for the usual 2-year period. And if the board is inclined to make that judgment, we would need a vote that you actually find that there are specific and material changes.
I have only one question for that. The entrance into it's only one from Oak Grove Avenue?
That
in
is
and out?
correct, that is correct. No entrances from Bedford Street.
Okay. By the way, I am Nabata, Mario Luciola.
You're in the butter to this?
What do you mean, you own the pizza place?
No, not,
You don't-
no, I buy the pizza place. No, I'm actually the fifth house in Shaventon.
Oh, Jefferson Street,
Yeah.
okay.
Can you
But welcome.
piece in a
Yeah,
butter?
you're not technically in a butter,
No.
you're sort of in the neighborhood?
Neighborhood.
Okay,
All
okay.
right, so you don't.
Okay.
all right.
No, nobody, no. I want to put a stay on you guys.
Ah, okay.
No, I've been welcome to do something with that corner. That's great.
Appreciate that, thank you.
You have my full support. I see, and I see substantial change, material change. So I make motion to approve. Unless somebody else have any other questions?
Question?
I just wanted to bring up that I did watch the meeting when it went before the zoning board, and I do understand what they were saying as far as when the building was that close, the exhaust hoods for the pizza place and so on was a concern. I really like this a lot better. And I know the entrances was a concern before, whether there was gonna be one here because of the traffic flow. I like that entrance there. I agree with Mario that there is substantial change. And I'll second the motion from Mario to send this back to the zoning board of appeals.
Okay. Do we have a vote here? We have a first and a second vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No one opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you, good evening, thank you very much.
Now we have.
Hold on, let me get Gloria back.
Gloria.
We don't want her to miss the
Oh,
fun.
that's right, that's right.
Yeah, 4 Form As, 5 Form As. Okay, come join us for the Form As.
All right, we are all set now. And item number 2, we have a few Form A applications that are application for endorsement of plan believed not to require approval. First one is file number 20-1475. The owner applicant is ELBK Realty Trust. That's Brian Barria, trustee. Location is 2547 and 2549 South Main Street, assessors map B1, lots 4 and 7.
Okay, folks, you should know that this property was subject of a variance, which was issued in August of this year. And part of that allowed the waiving of dimensional requirements. So we don't have to worry about frontage on these lots. They are creating 3 lots. 2 of them would have existing buildings on them. Lot 1 has an existing 5-family, Lot 2 has an existing 3-family, and then Lot 3 is created, and that, as it turns out, will be a lot that's totally in compliance with the zoning in the area, which is a good thing. They're all on public way, and my recommendation would be to endorse the plan, approval not required under the subdivision control law.
Do I have any questions? Now, do I have a vote? Motion?
A motion.
All right, second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And item 2B is file number 20-1476, owner applicant JEI Properties LLC, location 23 to 29 Etna Street, assessors map C-2-34.
Okay, let me just check one thing. Okay. This is a property that, as you'll see, contains initially an existing 3-family and an existing 2-family, both on a lot, on one single lot. And the intent is to subdivide these into 2 lots. They actually come under a variance, rather special permit, which was issued by the Zoning Board of Appeals in June of this year. The request was to subdivide the parcel into 2 lots, leaving a residential dwelling existing continuously since 1954 on each parcel. And the Zoning Board of Appeals approved that, so again, we don't have to be concerned about frontage dimensions. Both of these parcels are on a public way, so again, I would recommend that the board endorse the plan, approval not required under the subdivision control law.
Any questions? Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve?
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And C, file number 20-1477, owner applicant Brandon Aruda. Location is 178 to 180 Mott Street. Assessors map F18-3.
Okay, once again, we have a situation where a special permit's been issued by the board, this one in August of 2020. Permission is granted to subdivide the existing parcel into 2 lots, leaving an existing residence on each, and was allowed by the Zoning Board of Appeals. The lots that result from this will both have frontage on public way, and so we don't have to be concerned about the length of the frontage. And I would recommend that the board endorse this plan, approval not required under the subdivision control law.
Any questions? A motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Plan 178180, Mott Street, 183. Am I correct on this one?
Yes.
Okay.
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And now we have item D, and it's file number 20-1478, owner applicant Franklin Fernandez. Location 167 to 179 Raymond Street. Assessors map J19-9.
Once again, Zoning Board of Appeals has been involved in this case. They issued a special permit in August of this year to divide this property into 3 lots, leaving an existing residential structure on each. And the special permit takes care of the question of how much frontage they need. Raymond Street is a public way. That's the other part of the puzzle. So this plan as well, I recommend should be endorsed. Approval under the subdivision control law not required.
Any questions? Motion? Do you have a question?
Do you have a question?
No.
No question.
No, I'm sorry.
I motion to approve.
Yes, she made a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I
and
do have one question.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's not, my concern on these was always if run it across it throughout the whole city. If this house catches fire, burns down, it's not a buildable lot anymore. And we run across this all around the city. We've got vacant lots everywhere that are too small to build on because, you know, they would just, I mean, some of these wouldn't be buildable. And that's where we have trouble. There'll be some of the houses they want to raise and knock down. They can't because they'll never be able to put anything back there. So it's try to fix something. I mean, there's a couple that I know offhand, but it's just, I just wanted to put my point across because, again, that's the only detriment to me is that burns down, that's a vacant lot, and it's going to stay a vacant lot. It'll never go back on a tax roll again, unless they split that up and these guys buy the land.
All right, right.
Thank you.
Are you still in favor?
I'll go with it, yes.
Yes? Okay. All in favor? Okay, and now we're on file number 20-1479. Owner applicant Round the Clock Realty Service. Location 118 to 120 Raymond Street. Assessors map J1948. We have a lot on Raymond Street tonight.
Okay, this is a little different scenario. There is no variance or special permit involved in this case. However, the division of this parcel falls under an exception to the subdivision control law, and specifically, the law provides that the division of a lot is not a subdivision, and therefore we can endorse it with the Form A approval. It's not a subdivision if it's the division of a tract on which there were 2 or more buildings standing when the subdivision control law went into effect. And this city adopted the subdivision control law, I believe it was 1954, and these buildings were constructed in the 1930s. So they're existing structures. The division is not considered a subdivision, therefore the board would be within its right to endorse this plan. Approval under the subdivision control law not required.
Any questions on this? Do I have a motion?
Why, the other one?
Do we have a motion? Oh, yeah, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the last one of this listing is file number 20-1480, owner applicant Sequoia Holdings LLC. Locations on 93 Mulberry Street and 338 Ferry Street. Assessors map I-5-19 and 25.
This falls under the same exception to the subdivision control law as in the immediately previous case. The structures involved here were all created in around 1900 and therefore existed prior to the enactment or the adoption by the city of the subdivision control law, and therefore they are exempt, and the board may endorse these, endorse this plan approval under the subdivision control law, not required.
Any questions? Do I have a motion? I need a motion.
Bill, would you kindly repeat, because I'm having a problem with this class. I
Yep,
mean,
sorry. No, I'd be
Only
happy.
pay $4,400 for these things, but unfortunately,
It's not cheap, I know. I know. My mother-in-law routinely gets them and loses them or breaks them, and
Okay.
it's not cheap. But to repeat what I said, this particular plan falls under the same exemption or exclusion from the subdivision control law. These are buildings on lots that existed prior to the enactment or the adoption locally of the subdivision control law, which was in the early 1950s. These buildings were built in the 1900s. Probably most of that neighborhood was built around that time.
Okay.
So they are exempt, and Form A approval would be appropriate.
okay,
Okay?
feel better, okay. Okay, I'll make motion to approve, let me go see, file 201480, Mulberry Street, and it will be 1519-25. I think that's
Yes, you are correct. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 3, we have the approval of the minutes of the September 21st, 2020 meeting.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And there is no one here for public input, so I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.